This is Kitzur Yomi as we continue learning the halachos of bracha achreina. We're in the middle of a simin nun aleph, which we'll be wrapping up today. B'siyata d'shmaya. We pick it up from Sif Ches. Says the Kitzur in Sif Ches. Let's dive a little bit deeper into al hamichya me'in shalish. Bracha me'in shalish shel acher b'nei mezainis. The bracha of me'in shalish, which we colloquially refer to as al michya, after you eat mezainis. Pesach al michya val kikala, then v'chayseim noidul chal aretz al michya, baruch ata Hashem al aretz val michya val kikala. Val yain. Now, note 27 points out famously that the words al hakalkala, Shartzian says we do not say. Al yain, some do, some don't. Different minhagim v'chulu. Al yain, wine. Pesach, what do you do? Al yain al bri gavin. V'chayseim al aretz bri gavin. Baruch ata Hashem al aretz bri gavin. Al peiros, what do you say? Pesach al eitz al bri eitz. By the way, which includes grapes. A little bit, I don't want to say an unknown fact, but sometimes you sit down to, a full boat of grapes, and then what do you do afterwards? You just walk away. Hashem's like, hello. You have to make an al-ha-michya, well, al-gefen. Al-aperes, to be precise. You starve al-eitz al-breitz, v'chayzim al-aretz, al-aperes, baruch Hashem al-aretz, al-aperes. Eretz Yisrael. Now, if you're in Eretz Yisrael, note 29 points out. You're eating fruit that grew in Eretz Yisrael. Like we just said. Often happens at a kiddush. You say both of them in one bracha. Note 31 points out a famous Ramesha that even if you had less than the requisite of one of the shirim, but you had the requisite other shir, then you could still put them both together. Any combination, but now, what's the order? Something that often is a mistake. V'yaktim, first comes ala michya, then v'achar ala gefen, and then v'achar kach al ha'etz. Again, in the order that you did, michya, gefen, eitz. Shakol ala michya im sharmin. If you're saying ala michya, something else. You definitely don't say al kalkala for the sustenance, because that's if it's only michya. You have to be a baki, baal peh, which is interesting that the Kitzur is teaching us. We have this, it's in the Sidurim, but you should be a baki. I guess the Kitzur is just being practical. That lemaisa, let's just be honest, often you don't have a sitter or whatnot. And if someone doesn't actually know the bracha, then we know what happens. Says the Kitzur, Sif. Says the Kitzur, Sif Tes. B'Shabbos Yom Tov Rosh Chodesh. Maskirin ba minyana diyama. We mention in Yana Diyama, Shabbos, Yom Tov, Rosh Chodesh. V'imshach v'lo yizker ein machzir neisai. You do not go back. No, 35 points out. What are the neschayis? As we know, Retzevach Seinu, Tzochin Tov Yom Rosh Chodesh, Samchenu, V'yom Chag Yisukah says that, v'chulu, v'chulu. Now, it is interesting. He did not mention Chol HaMoed. Chol HaMoed, what do you do in Chol HaMoed? We'll leave it at that. Yesh la'achmer bracha zu, once we machmer k'moy bracha mazayin. B'dvarim, as we said in Memdalet Sif Vav, note 36, reminds us what is that. That is, you should be seated, you should be dressed appropriately. Sif Yidal, b'berachas Borei Nefashos, yesh ha'imrim shebarasa. Some say that you created. Yesh ha'imrim shebara. So do you say Shabara? We thank Hashem for everything that He has created, or do we say Shabarasa, that you have created? He has or you have. So the kids are like Shabara. What's the explanation of Borei Nefashos? Borei Nefashos, we're thanking Hashem that He creates many living things and their needs. Shabara Nefashos Agam Machsairam, that He created them with that which they have. Dainu Kol Tzarchei Sipukan, everything that they need for their necessities. Shein Dvarim Achreichiyim L'Tzarchiyim Chiyusam, which are the essential things. We thank Hashem that Hashem created everything with their needs. V'gam Al Kol Shar Dvarim Shabara, And then we add in not only that, but Hashem gave us so much more amazing things. Not like bread and water, other things. Hashem created tainugim. Hashem created delicacies. Kimoi, like fruit. We don't need fruit. We can live on fruit, on bread and water. We're thanking Hashem. And now you could realize that in a way, even though Borei Nefashos Rabbis Chasroinen is only being made on a candy, on an apple, in a way, we're being cognizant at that moment and we're thanking Hashem for everything. And it's not limiting. We sometimes think, okay, I had a cup of water. No, I had a candy, Borei Nefashos. No. Really, what we're supposed to be thinking is, Hashem, you've given us everything we need. And on top of that, we thank you for the cherry. Even for this geshmaka cherry that you didn't really have to give us. You have to say, Chay olamim, sarch loimer, chay aches bepatach, chay olamim. Hagoyin, says the Goyin, Hiskim and Poiskim, Shekastu, Lachtam, Bracha, Hashem, Bracha, Hashem, Chay, Hoy, La, Mim. So, we have two different ways of saying it, as you see even within, the Neschais over here, it says that way. Note 42.7, Mishnah Berurah says that you say Chay Olamim. So Chay Olamim, different minhagim will say it. Sif Yud Beis, if you eat fruit, Allah eats fruits. Who Borei Nefashos. So let's say you had tons of grapes and you also had an apple. That's all you make. Even patters up the stam fruits, even patters up that which is not from the Shiva Saminim. Let's see if say Borei Nefashos on your jelly beans. Of course, the in shalosh doesn't work. First you say in shalosh v'achach Borei Nefashos lechatchila asur laadam latzis mimikaymai lechatchila. It's asur for one to leave his place, or to do anything else. Until he made a bracha achrayna. Why? Because you're going to forget. But the evidence, because when you already left, as we've already learned, wherever you remember, you say Borei Nefashos. You have to go back. We've already pointed out that that's, of course, l'chatchila mamish hasatzchak. If it's impossible to go back, you could say that al-mecha wherever you are, but important to be cognizant. Should be making bracha achraynos before we get up so we don't forget. You ate and you drank and you do not say bracha achrayna. You're allowed to say it's very important. Let's pay attention. Until the food is digested. How long is that? As long as you not want more. You're not thirsty. But once that passes, eat something else. Again, not that long for drinks. You don't really have the requisite 72 minutes. Drinks, we say more, it's like a half hour usually. Again, unless you know for sure that you're still full, etc. Why? Because there's no less than is already digested, so you do not make a bracha achrayna. But again, let's just be cognizant and be aware that's if you threw up everything. Sometimes you ate a lot, you threw up a little bit, you still could have your bracha achrayna. We'll pick it up from Siman Nun Beis the next year, B'siyata Dishmaya.